Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for sticking with us. So on this segment of Keeping Up with Kealy, we are actually cooking it up. So I was recently scrolling through social media and kept having this dish pop up, and literally I was convinced I had to try it. So I went to the grocery store and got everything I needed, and lucky for you, I documented the whole thing. So today I'm showing you guys how to make squash spaghetti. So this is our ingredient lineup. You can see we have a big old squash, hamburger meat, cherry tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, spinach, olive oil, and this fancy cheese, guys. It literally took me forever. So our first step of business was to cut the squash in half. And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it was a little difficult to do. It was hard. I actually had to put it in the microwave. And then here is that squash opened up. We then have to clean it. I had a spoon, but I actually had to go grab a fork to get all those seeds out. And then I just threw that away. And our next step is we had to spray it down with this fancy olive oil. Guys, usually I use like the unhealthy stuff, but I figure while we're being healthy, I'll be a little more healthier with our olive oil. So I just sprayed this on that part. And then this is our seasoning lineup. Obviously, we had to put some Tony's in there, onion powder, garlic powder, and then this is me putting it in my oven. I set my oven to 400 degrees for about 45 minutes, I believe. And while that was doing its thing, I went ahead to cut up the other ingredients. So that's my cherry tomatoes, my red bell pepper, and my onion. Now, I will say that one thing I need to learn is what knife to use when cutting certain vegetables, because I don't know, guys. And then I let my hamburger meat brown and I just put everything together. You can separate the meat from your vegetables, but I feel like that adds more flavor. And then after that had its time, I put that fancy cheese right in the middle for it to melt. And there it is in its glory with the heavy cream. Took my squash out. Thank you to my fiance for videoing. And here's the fun part, the noodles. This literally makes noodles if you just get your fork and run it through. So interesting. So I took the noodles out, put our filling in, then I put the noodles back on top and put some cheese on it, put it in the oven for about 5 more minutes, and I even put a broil on so that cheese was super melted. And here is our final result, guys. I'm telling you, it was amazing, and I would definitely cook this again. The only thing I would maybe do this next time when I cook it is maybe not to get the biggest squash at the grocery store. And then also, I would say the one thing I really loved about this meal is it was very flavorful, and with using the squash as the spaghetti noodles, I felt like I wasn't as bloated as I usually am whenever I eat pastas. And I love pasta and carbs and bread. So, I mean, for someone who loves all that, this was a great try. But that's all I have for today. If you would like to keep up with my latest segment, visit our website, wcbi.com/keepingupwithkealy, or visit my Facebook, Kealy Shields, WCBI.